Kashmir has turned very restive over the reports that Article 35A is in danger because of judicial scrutiny. It seems all political parties across ideological divide in the political landscape have found a common case. I'm Akash. Today we are joined by Kashmir Life Managing Editor Masood, who will be explaining what's Article 35A and the controversy. You are welcome, sir. The issue has snowballed into a major controversy. Can you please explain us what it is all about? What's Article 35A?
Article 35A
Right.
is an article of the Constitution of India that protects rights of state legislature of Jammu and Kashmir in defining the permanent residents, their rights to government jobs, their landed and immovable properties, and other special things that any state would like to extend it to its citizens.
Right.
That is precisely what Article 35A is all about. It was implemented after the President of India issued 1954 Constitution Application Order in May. It is outcome of that. And the Constitution Application Order of May 54 is outcome of a very long debate and discussion between Jammu and Kashmir state and the Union of India.
So it's like the accession itself.
It is basically, see, citizenship is an exercise, the rights of which lies with the Government of India.
Right.
But in Jammu and Kashmir is a special state, so on the request and consistent persuasion of the Jammu and Kashmir state, these rights are with the state legislature and not with the Parliament of India.
Okay. So now, what's the controversy all about? Why are the prime time debates on television dominating Article 35A is dominating Indian television in newspapers? There is shutdown call in Kashmir. What's the controversy all about regarding Article 35A?
With this controversy that is more visible now,
Right.
has been there throughout. Since Jammu and Kashmir acceded to the Union of India in a very special, in a very different situation, and it negotiated its terms of accession.
Right.
These controversies have been there since then. So the issue of citizenship, if you say just one strand of this controversy, if you see it, when state and center agreed for an engagement, a constitutional relationship was built that we know as Article 370.
Right.
So when Article 370 was implemented through a presidential order of 1950, the citizenship part, the part of Indian Constitution, part second, that pertaining to the citizenship was not implemented to Jammu and Kashmir state, simply because Jammu and Kashmir, the case of Jammu and Kashmir had been taken to the United Nations, where they had made certain promises.
By United Nations by Indian Prime Minister?
By Indian Prime Minister Pandit Nehru.
Right.
So citizenship was remained untouched, and legally Government of India had no rights over deciding and discussing the issues pertaining to the state subjects of Jammu and Kashmir.
So what has now happened?
No, it is not. Then second thing happened in 1952,
Okay.
when Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah and his team negotiated that famous Delhi Agreement. There was lot of debate and discussion between the two sides on state subjects, and it was eventually decided. Pandit Nehru told the Parliament that we have agreed to protect their rights. The only correction that happened in 1952 was state subjects was replaced by a word permanent resident of Jammu and Kashmir. But later, when Jammu and Kashmir's this Constituent Assembly ratified the accession, the citizenship issue again was opened up. There were again discussions between Government of Jammu and Kashmir and the Government of India, and it was on basis of those discussions that Government of India decided against making any correction, any change to the citizenship laws of the Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay.
So it remains there since 1954. But literally, if you see, these are the same rules and same laws that have existed in Kashmir since 1921 or 22.
So what happened this time? You know, an NGO has went to Supreme Court. What's the story all about?
No, the story is simple. There has been one school of thought in India from day one that was against the idea of having a state
with special
status.
Right.
They wanted a single monolith, a state that has one constitution, that has one flag, that has one market, things like this. And so they were completely against it. Now, for the last many years, they have been using it as main plank of their politics.
Right.
They have gone, one NGO, apparently right-wing NGO has gone to Supreme Court in 2014, and they are saying that since the President of India has encroached upon the rights of the Parliament and amended the Constitution unconstitutionally.
So they are
talking about a constitutional sin that has been there for more than 60 years.
Okay.
They want court to ratify it, to clear it and reverse it. That is
they are questioning that what President has done was unconstitutional, or it was out of his power.
No, it was not out of his power. But see, Article 370 is the only bridging article between Jammu and Kashmir and the Union of India. So this article gives authority to the President of India to implement parts of the Constitution of India to Jammu and Kashmir in modified form.
Okay.
So he has modified part of it. There is already 35, Article 35 is already there. So Article 35A is a modified form of perhaps the same article that is extended to the state that protects the rights of the citizens of the state. That is what it is. Okay. You must also know that India has one constitution for the whole of India and one constitution that is applicable to Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
So the 35A constitution, 35A will not be available in the copy of the constitution that is in vogue with, that is being sold in the market in the rest of India.
Okay. But what is the reason, what is the primary reason they are doing this?
Primary reason is simple. They want, if a citizen of Jammu and Kashmir has a right to purchase property or be citizen of any other state, why can't it operate in reverse?
Okay.
That is plainly the main objective. They are making it very clear that it is discriminatory towards the residents of the rest of the states in India who can't acquire land, who can't apply for jobs, who can't be citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. That is precisely why they are.
So, in brief, we can say they are questioning the special status of Jammu and Kashmir.
Exactly. Yes. If you see Article 370, if Article 370 is a body, then it so lies in 35A, because it is the 35A that protects you from selling your land to a non-state subject, or permitting other citizens from the rest of India to apply for jobs that government of Jammu and Kashmir may require.
So if there will be any sort of tinkering with Article 35A, if it seems what's happening right now, so what will be the...
So this is not, this is not for the first time that people have gone to the court.
Right.
They have gone it earlier as well.
So what's different this time?
No, there is not a major difference. This particular thing has been decided by a 9-judge bench once.
Okay.
But the law of the land doesn't permit, it doesn't prevent people from going to court again and again. It was dismissed, this particular petition, petitions that challenge the special status of Jammu and Kashmir have been dismissed thrice so far.
Okay. But this time, has it been dismissed?
It has not been dismissed, it is still, the Supreme Court is hearing both the parties. Earlier we were hearing that government of India's representative in the court wants a debate on this, and the debate has happened. The political parties have joined hands. Now it has become a major issue. So
that means if
so state government has already submitted its defense, though it is apparently weak, but now they have hired a very senior lawyer. That is what they are saying. So it will take its time, but I don't think it will be decided in a day or two or in a couple of weeks. It will take its own time, but anything that has gone to the court will have to be decided by the court.
Okay. But the central government, that's BJP led, has not filed a counter affidavit. Unlike the previous, there was similar cases. Unlike the previous governments in center.
See, if court issues a notice to a government, an institution, or to an individual, today or tomorrow, response has to go. Response has to go. If it has not gone now, it may go tomorrow, but it has to go.
Okay.
So their position will be very clear when once that their response lands in the court.
Okay. Political leaders or the across the political ideologies have already warned of grave consequences if there will be anything like what's being debated about Article 35A if it is removed from the Indian Constitution.
See, in case of Jammu and Kashmir, what makes Jammu and Kashmir restive, as you said at the outset, is that if 35A ceases to exist,
right,
you will not have the same rights as you have. Anybody can come and purchase the land,
right,
and anybody can be a citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. So it will alter the demography of the state. That is the real big thing. So, but on the other side, if the court, for instance, erases this from the history, from the constitutional history, then it is a bigger crisis, and perhaps the crisis will shift to Delhi rather than to Srinagar. Because this presidential order of 1954 has amended almost whole of constitution.
Okay.
So all those things need to be.
So it's not only this particular.
It is not only this thing. See, the same constitutional order has changed Article 3 of the Constitution of India, under which Lok Sabha lacks any right in changing the name of or the boundary of the Jammu and Kashmir state. The same constitutional application order has changed Article 7. Article 7 says that any citizen of India that has migrated out of India in 1947 to a particular date cannot be a citizen of India.
Right.
But in case of Jammu and Kashmir, it doesn't say so. It says any citizen who has moved out of Jammu and Kashmir before 1947 or after 1947 till 54 is still the state subject of Jammu and Kashmir.
Permanent resident of Jammu and
It is a permanent resident. So it is not the only one. It is not only one particular article. The one particular article has been challenged, but the presidential order hasn't changed one. It has changed whole of
in the center of debate is demography. Please make our audience understand that what does it mean if demography is changed. What does it mean? How will it impact the Kashmir issue?
Demography will change the character of the state. It is the Muslim majority.
The basic character of the state.
The basic character, demography of the state, basic character of the state will be changed. So if it changes, it will change with it the politics of it.
Okay.
So that's a big change. That is not so small a change. So that is why there have been instances of there have been statements in which many people have been saying that we need to change 35A to alter the demography. Once you alter the demography, you can change many things.
Okay.
So that is why it is being resisted.
Okay.
It is being talked about so much right now.
So it is particularly all about the demography. If we can say that the whole debate is about the demography.
See, Kashmir's identity has now been restricted to quite a few things.
Okay.
One is land. Second is the unity in diversity.
Okay.
Unity in diversity. It's a place where Muslims are in majority, 68%, but only Muslims don't live in Jammu and Kashmir. All other communities, all other faiths live.
Hindus.
So once you take away both these things.
Right.
What remains, what is left in the name of identity then? There is nothing much.
Okay.
The last thing that was about identity was this article 370 will protect, you will have your own laws, you will have your own, lot many things.
Right.
So gradually most of those things have changed. Now it remains land and the people. So if you engineer, if you try to intervene in these two cases, you are taking over the complete identity of the place. That is called Jammu and Kashmir. That is the whole debate all about.
So now, what are the options left?
There are not many options.
Right.
There are only two options.
Okay.
One is status quo. You maintain what it is. Right, wrong, or left, right, or center, whatever you maintain it. Or you scrap it and move to status quo and do.
And how long can they maintain status quo? Because if
so it is not something that you need to essentially maintain.
right.
It is already there. Don't fiddle with it. That is what it is.
But do you think in these circumstances it will happen?
I don't know. But there are castes. Castes are not only for Salem.
Right.
Not for Kashmir or Jammu and Kashmir. There are castes both sides. Who retain it while it is and don't change it.
Where it has been?
Yes, where it has been since 1954.
Okay.
Okay. So there is no problem in that.
Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen in the future. But at this point of time, Kashmir literally seems very restive. And political parties have been warning of grave consequences.